legend George St-Pierre, former UFC welterweight champion, former UFC middleweight champion, and DC as one of the most decorated wrestlers on this UFC roster. You gotta be pretty amazed at what this man has been able to accomplish without any amateur wrestling credentials to speak of.
Yeah, with no background, the guys that he's been in there with and controlled the wrestling exchanges has truly been unbelievable to watch. I was in Canada when he fought Josh Koscheck and took Josh Koscheck, who was an NCAA champion, down whenever he needed to.
Right.
But it was also the striking that made him so dangerous. I remember George St-Pierre had this combination. It was a lead jab, a lead Superman jab into the leg kick. Everyone wanted to try and do it, and they say imitation is the greatest form of getting a compliment. We all tried to be George St-Pierre.
And he's got more SPs than you.
He does. He's a man.
Former UFC middleweight champion Anderson the Spider Silva is set to make the walk here tonight. This is a man still getting it done in his mid-40s, DC. Proved in the Israel Adesanya fight that he could still hang in there over a hard 15 minutes with the best guys.
Anderson Silva is still able to compete even though he's up there in age a little bit, and that's because of his commitment to the sport of mixed martial arts. He loves competing. He loves the spotlight. Everything that you need to drive you to be able to stay active and stay relevant in this sport, Anderson Silva possesses. Every time he steps foot in the octagon, we get a chance to witness one of the greatest fighters of all time.
And when DC needed an opponent for UFC 200 on about 24 hours notice, the greatest of all time was your Huckleberry. Not too bad. Anderson the Spider Silva. We are set for our main event of the evening. And now our tale of the tape for this middleweight championship fight. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Middleweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, presenting the challenger, George Rush St-Pierre. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Anderson the Spider Silva.
Herb Dean, our referee for this one. All right, so here we go with round one. Yes, they have locked the door behind Anderson Silva and George St-Pierre. For a time, it appeared we wouldn't see this fight. Now Silva, several years removed from his prime, will try to solve the great GSP.
It's going to be a tough fight for Anderson. He has to make sure that George St-Pierre cannot take him down. But Anderson is a master of space management. Anderson has unbelievable eyes all over.
And mixes in a takedown. Why not? Silva get peppered here from the top. He's got to figure out a way to cover up. All right, he's trying to control posture here. Now trying to hip escape.
He's just trying to move out of this position off the bottom. Nice shot there by the champ.
GSP ground and pound from half guard. Really using his physicality to his advantage now.
He lifted up the neck and snuck his arm underneath to try to get a choke.
Oh, tense moment here. That arm triangle's tight. Oh, bails on the submission now. Under 3 minutes now to go in the round. St-Pierre's got him in a crucifix. Gonna work from the top now. A lot of top pressure being applied here. Well, St-Pierre's back in full mount. And busy as he looks to improve position here. All right, so yet another ground and pound strike lands right there, DC.
He's getting very active now that he knows he can land these strikes. What a beautiful leg kick that landed there.
That is it! I mean, you gotta be kidding me with that knockout. If that is not the #1 play on SportsCenter tonight, I'm not sure what would top it. One of the best knockouts we've seen all year.
In a very long time. I have not seen someone look this good. He promised us something, and he delivered with that beautiful knockout.
We go to Bruce Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 8 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout and new UFC Middleweight Champion of the World,